you have a lot of champions that can be very damaging. Jeremy Flip is a master with set.
And we've definitely seen his performances on set before. And following that up, we do see the Cassiopeia and Gangplank bands coming out.
There's a lot of focus on Jeremy Flip here. He's a powerful top laner, so
you say that a lot of focus is going on to Jeremy Flip, but truth be told, it was Black Oreo Cookies who played the Gangplank mid.
Oh, you're right. That is definitely true. So Malphite also banned out. I mean, these are some really powerful champions. So Ezreal getting knocked out, Catnator has been truly terrifying on that champion.
And it's just another one of those things that like sitting out as the first rounds of bans are coming out. It's just, you really don't know like what these teams are capable of, because it's just over and over again you see them perform on multiple different champions. So even seeing here Kisses for Cats picking up the Karthus, so now you've already setting the tone on what you want to do in this game, followed by a Volibear, another hugely hotly contested pick.
Absolutely. So that Karthus, they say Karthus can now mid lane. I suspect this might still be a jungle Karthus, but Volibear, massive pickup. I kind of feel like you could have waited on Karthus. I don't think he's that contested. Volibear, definitely contested.
Karthus, no, especially with the buffs that Karthus just got, he's become a hotly contested pick.
I mean, he just hasn't been yet in a team sense. In solo queue, absolutely, he's wildly powerful.
And even now,
XDME has really dominated on Karma lately, so that's definitely a good early pickup. You're not showing your hand. I don't know, I might have liked to have seen an Ashe pickup or something like that, but Karma is definitely worthwhile.
It's still a pick to take here in the first round. So Kevin 7600 hovering the Kayle. I don't know how I feel about Kayle as a champion, at least on the in organized play. But there it is. We're definitely running it.
I mean, Kayle hasn't been the most successful champion in the ALS. Literally never winning a game, despite being picked a couple of times. But maybe Sharon Fang has something in mind with it.
I don't know. With her early game, with her insane late game, and as well as Karthus' insane late game, you really can't count out the scaling that's already on the side of Kisses for Cats. But Kled...
Oh, Jeremy Flip getting a Kled.
Kled being one of the few champions that can actually really hard pressure and beat Kayle early into the game.
Absolutely. That was a power pick for sure. So we get this next wave of picks and bans. I think it's going to be very focused on ADCs. Neither team has prioritized ADC yet, so...
Opting not to ban? Or just not getting it fast enough?
It looks like it was just a no ban.
Again, that might also be because of the sub. I don't remember. I'm not completely informed on what that rule is, but
there's that Ashe ban. You expect that. Catnator has been dominating on Ashe. Last night, just terrifying on Ashe in the All-Star game.
Even with the really weird tank Ashe build,
you know, whatever.
It worked. It really did work. It was the tier into Iceborne Gauntlet as your 2 damage items, and then just built straight tank for your next 2 items, and then which I don't remember the magic resist item, but I know it was a Thornmail, and then finishing it off with a rapid fire cannon was.
And there goes the Caitlyn. Kha'Zix's oddly banned off. I don't understand what the Kha'Zix ban is for, but he gone.
They must have thought that Karthus, because again, Karthus can flex into 3 roles right now. So, with that being mid, bot, AD, and jungle, so they might think that this Karthus must not be the jungler, is what they're banking on. I'm assuming by the Kha'Zix ban.
Well, Catnator floated in Aphelios briefly before switching over to Senna, so That's pretty exciting.
The Senna Karma combo might just be enough to completely negate Karthus ultimates later into the game.
It looks like Ham is taking a Kindred, which not a heavily picked champion in ALS for sure. Kindred's a carry though. This is a very hyper carry team so far. I don't see much in the way of frontline, but they can kill.
Oh yeah. So, because again, with your support, you're running a full squishy lineup here. So it's like, although you can scale really hard if you're not exploding the champions in front of you, and you get to the point where you can explode the champions in front of you, Kisses for Cats might struggle here.
I'm not thrilled with their engage potential so far, but XDME floating and Alistair, I like that.
So I mean, if you were to ask for like a quick assessment of it, there's plenty of damage on the side of Kisses for Cats, but like you said, no tank, no frontline, no engage there, and then but you have plenty of disengage to kind of negate a good amount of what NG Blossom has. Although it's very difficult to push back a Kled ultimate, a team with a Kled ultimate on it. So like you got the Kled ultimate with the Karma to help speed them up even more, so the move speed's never going to be an issue. But like between the Volibear and the Alistar, who can just soak damage for days, it's going to be really it's going to be really difficult. I think it's an uphill battle.
But Black Oreo Cookie is playing Karma mid. That's surprising.
I'm with it. Did we?
I like it, but
I'm sure we saw it earlier.
He had his entire roster open to him. He could have played anything he wanted. He's chosen to go for Karma mid. So there's a strategy here, and this is a mobile team. I mean, between the Kled and the Karma.
But I guess I mean, look, if you have, because you do have Ham on the Kindred. So like if Kindred gets some really good ults off to kind of just negate the hard engage coming in from the side of NG Blossom, those fights can very quickly turn into favorable ones for Kisses for Cats.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot to analyze here, and I think you have a much stronger traditional team for NG Blossom. I think Kisses for Cats is going to be relying on individual player skill here a lot. I mean, you have a team of 4 carries, and not even like light carry, against a pretty traditional comp with a strong engage, good team fighting, a lot of disruption. I mean, Alistair, Volibear. I mean, Karma has a stun. Senna has a snare. Like, everyone on their team is strong team fighting potential compared to a bunch of hyper carries.
It's true, but I feel like the only like real damage, like I feel like so NG Blossom is also kind of missing or lacking a little bit, not much, but a little bit in the damage department, especially not having a traditional marksman down there in the bot lane to consistently put out damage.
I mean, that's definitely a lack. I mean, Kled can definitely put out some damage, and depending on how Exasperated plays his Volibear, that's a fair amount. And we all saw in the 1v1 matches yesterday, Karma's a killer.
Karma is a killer, especially when she builds AP, so it's all going to be very dependent on how the builds look this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where the damage is going to come from.
So this should be an exciting game. I tend to prefer a more traditional team comp, so I think I'm siding with NG Blossom taking this one down, but, you know, Kisses for Cats is going to definitely give them a run today.
And as for me, obviously I'm going to go with Kisses for Cats, because, you know, I like seeing the underdogs go in and do well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want NG Blossom to take their first loss of the season.
It is worth noting that NG Blossom has a teleport advantage. Jeremy, Phillip, and Black Oreo Cookies both rocking teleport. I don't know if that's going to be super relevant, but, you know, you have double Ignite going bottom lane for Kisses for Cats, compared to Catinator and XDME splitting a heal Ignite.
I mean, they're going for a kill lane, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, It seems good. I mean, Janna is definitely deadly, and I love the Janna with, like, that's a good bottom lane. Like, Janna and, I'm forgetting his name. Wow.
Lucian?
Yeah, Lucian. Janna Lucian is one of those lanes that is so fantastic. Just putting that shield on him, letting him go to town, he does so much damage.
It makes his major drawback. It makes it easier for him to engage fights, and not to mention that Janna also does quite a bit of damage. You can't count out Janna's damage. And she can completely negate champions like Alistar and in like hard engaged champions. So I'm excited, even though it's a little bit more difficult for her to do so against champions like Volibear and Kled. She can very easily keep back an Alistar, or like after they engage, just keep those champions off of him.
So when it comes to runes, Catnator has elected to take Glacial Augment on Senna, and Kevin's 7600 is running Fleet Footwork on Kale. Otherwise, everything looks pretty much as expected. Nothing like super surprising there.
Mm-hmm. Although I prefer, like when I play Kale, I definitely prefer the lethal tempo. I like having that extra damage, but having the sustain against Karma is going to prove to be invaluable, especially later into the game with the extra move speed.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting choices that are going on here. I don't know.
I mean, other than that, everything else seems to be quite in order.
Yeah, those are the two interesting ones. Like, personally, I don't tend to take... I'm a little more tanky-oriented on my runes with Volibear, but Exasperated is a much better jungler than me, so...
Opting into the press the attack and domination tree secondary, so I mean, it's a very, very offensive Volibear build. Or rune choice.
Wow, that was a pretty good level 1. We got the flash off of Janna. XCME trading his flash, but he has Hex Flash, so not that big of a deal for him. Definitely a worthwhile trade there. And it looks like a very deep invade coming in from Kisses for Cats. It looks like they want to just take Exasperated's red buff.
They're set there to take it, so I mean, it's not like... I mean, Jeremy Flip opting not to pass through that way.
Yeah, they might have a good feeling for this, though, when they see which direction Kale comes from. And he is seeing that, so they know that that red buff is gone. Exasperated just immediately pathing towards his opponent's red buff. They have it warded. He's pretty sure this is going to be safe, but he is also spotted out by a buff in the ward in the river.
And now that we get to finally see the lanes, it's actually a Lucian mid here that we're seeing.
Yeah, that's it's a little hard to track some of these movements on lanes. Oh, they have
Exasperated getting caught out here in the jungle.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but it looks like he wasn't expecting Ham to back and then come into the jungle.
Yeah, because generally speaking, when you know that the enemy top laner is starting on your side, like where they're starting your red and you're starting your blue, usually you see vertical jungling happening. But they countered it and played it perfectly, and now Kindred, like Ham's Kindred, just gets to free triple buff this.
Yeah, they knew that Exasperated was making that move, and it's a predictable move, but they had the ward to time it, and they were able to get Ham in place in time with Tanimo available to support the kill. So, good first blood.
Other than that, though, everything else seems to be about there. In the bot lane, Sharon Fang able to bully out and actually kill XDME there underneath the tower. I think it's worth
me overcommitted that. He was so far ahead of the tower.
Able to blow the flash from Catinator. Special K getting forced out of that range as well. They're really trying to poke her out underneath here. And is able to pick up Catinator as well underneath the tower. See, this is where it comes into play where the Karthus buffs are massive, especially with giving him back the move speed. But before I go into that, Jeremy Flip is here in the top side jungle running around. I don't know if he's just looking for him or not quite able to land the bear trap and escape.
They had a lot of damage on Ham from the jungle, and he's just still committing to it. He might just be a little too deep, and I think it's time to go ahead and back out. But he went very deep when they had a small skirmish in the river over Scuttle Crab. Frankly, Exasperated is just massively far behind at this point.
Ham is looking towards his top lane despite only having 350 health here.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be the gank. I think he's wisely backing. He has enough gold. He's definitely better off retreating. You're already seeing a notable level difference. Kevin's is almost to level 6, which is a huge level for Kale. Whereas Jeremy Flip's still sitting at level 4, just hitting level 5. I mean, Exasperated's a level behind. It's pretty bad across the board.
Well, teleports are still available from the top laners, and once Kale hits level 6, she does become a ranged champion, which will make it significantly harder for Jeremy Flip to deal with.
Yeah, he's ahead in CS right now, but that's going to be a little more questionable once Kale's 6.
Not to mention the gold difference is only about 300, so I don't think a huge item advantage is about to come out.
Looks like a failed gank on Black Oreo Cookies, but that's pretty much the only lane that NGB Blossom has been winning.
Once again, is getting bullied out by Sharon Fang. Something that's extremely important to note down here in the bot lane is one of the reasons why Karthus got like so popular out of what seems out of nowhere down here in the bot lane is because of the sheer amount of range that Karthus has on his Q. He's able to just safely bully champions, even a champion with a range as far as Caitlyn. He's able to bully out with the range of his Q.
And they, like, Kisses for Cats made a priority of removing a lot of the champions that might have had better counterplay to Karthus. So, I respect this a lot.
Huge fight down in the bot lane, but it seems as though even the favorable engage from NG Blossom, they are the ones who are losing down here in this bot lane very hard. And so far, it's a very strong start coming out from Kisses for Cats.
Oh, Sharon Fang just ably dodging Black Oreo Cookies' empowered Q. And it looks like this is just going to become a triple kill for them.
Cannot, and it is another kill going over. That already is 4 kills for Sharon Fang, who's
and
already
it's about to be a 5th.
Oh yeah,
well,
with the ultimate now available.
Oh, so close. But they managed to steal away that blue buff.
Exasperated left with about 50 HP after the Dark Harvested ultimate goes off. But it's a net win either way with the extra Dark Harvest proc that's given to Sharon Fang. And a dragon that's going to go their way.
There's just been so much pressure on this map all game. It looks like NG Blossom has not been able to catch their footing.
And with a very early 4,000 gold lead and 6 kills to their team, it's just not looking good for NG Blossom. They very might take their first loss today.
That is
being used
definitely the case. This is a 2v1, and it's very quickly going to be a 1v3. Or a 3v2, and now a 1v3. That was not a good engage at all. Kisses for Cats is just all over this map. Ham is literally everywhere.
But it's like I said, like in fights like that, I don't think that NG Blossom is going to have the damage to do anything in these fights just yet. Despite the Lost Chapter Karma, despite the Tiamat on Kled, they were not able to put enough damage down onto Kevin or Ham to even bring out the ultimate from the Lamb's Respite from Ham.
Yeah, but that was also a 3v2, and that was just not a good place for them. They're not getting these gang up engages that they would need. So yeah, I don't know how they catch up if they keep getting surrounded and outnumbered.
And just to bring Exasperated's here in the bot lane right now, looking for an engage here, but getting spotted out by that ward. Sharon Fang and Special K stepping up just in time to watch him walk away.
Exasperated's 2 levels below. He is super far behind, and he's probably just going to have to farm his jungle and hope to be more relevant later on.
He hasn't been able to do much at all this game after getting invaded, and not getting invaded, but getting his red buff taken from him.
And then dying in the opposing jungle trying to take their red buff.
Some vision out here in the river might spot out some action. Ham barely skipping out on that ward, so they don't know he's here yet, but an engage coming out on the bot lane. And XDME is just going to go down. Ultimate still available from him. Teleport coming in from, I believe that's Jeremy Flip. Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be a little late, but he'll probably be able to pick up the first kill for Zinc. Maybe.
Nope. Jeremy, Special K was able to turn around and be able to save Sharon Fang just in time to save Sharon Fang, so that shutdown gold is not going to go. And that's even worse, dropping the teleport there for it. Teleporting down without his ultimate really cost him. Because now he's going to lose a double wave up top as well. Look at that massive wave that he's just going to lose, as well as tower plating.
I mean, that's 10 kills handed over for nothing. Exasperated managed to pick up a Shelly there, Rift Herald, but that's about it. Now, he might be looking to use that for a gank on mid, but I would be concerned because Ham has literally been everywhere reading all of his moves, and part of that is just vision. And
with XDME here in the mid lane, they tried to make something happen, but that didn't pan out too well. And once again, another fight coming in, but it's another 3v2 where they're just attacking aggressively, able to take down Black Oreo Cookies well before Jeremy Flip is able to complete the channel of his ultimate to the mid lane. And he's just going to back out of that.
There are 4 members of Kisses for Cats here. And they're just going after XDME in the jungle. Ham is showing no fear.
Jeremy Flip able to land the bear trap, but cannot follow it up as he gets dismounted. Doing so.
But I mean, he's so far behind.
Oh yeah. It's like I said before. That teleport bot completely decimated any lead that he had in that lane. Like the first death of Jeremy Flip was fine. He was still about even. But losing the double wave, or is a little bit more than a double, it was like 2.5 waves, as well as 2 tower plates handed over to Kevin 76 on that Kale, really was bad. It was really bad.
And of note, Special K is now running with 14 stacks on a Soul Stealer, so that's an actually pretty dangerous Janna. He's running around with 156 AP at, below 13 minutes.
That's scary, because Janna, and it is a Zephyr max, so the Zephyr is where her main damage tool as well. So it's you just really cannot do do much. Sharon Fang stepping up, not really sure if that's quite the move there. Ultimate being blown from Special K, but they are turning around and putting down quite a bit of damage on Catinator, forcing out some flashes. Sharon Fang sniped off by the Senna ultimate. Karthus ultimate going down, putting down a lot of damage, bringing every member very low, getting the Dark Harvest stacks. Ham's Kindred is going to step over the wall and find Jeremy Flip, Might be able to put down enough damage if he founds the ward. Is able to pick up Jeremy Flip. But the Dragon's still on the table and the health bar is still very low there. With Kevin just cleanly farming, not doing a whole lot, just making sure that there's pressure in every single lane.
I mean, good on NG Blossom for picking up their first kill, but that was a convincing team fight for Kisses for Cats.
I mean, being down 9,000 gold as well as 2 dragons at this point is just not the position you want to see NG Blossom in.
NG Blossom's only just beginning to finish some of their first items, with Exasperated finally picking up a Cinder Hulk. Granted, he's 3 levels behind Ham.
This is like the 4th time that XDME is gonna get engaged on by that Tanamo is gonna get engaged on by XDME, but Ham unable to get into range to ult. But it does end with Jeremy Flip going down.
Yeah, Jeremy Flip traded his life and the lives of 2 of his teammates for a kill on Tanamo, which, granted, massive shutdown, but that's 3 for 1.
And it's still not the kind of trades you want to see. Now it's literally almost 10,000 gold.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're still not seeing any like beef on NG Blossom. They have these champions that are supposed to be survivable. They're just not. They don't have the tank stats to survive any of this burst yet.
3 down here to pick up Sharon Fang. It's going to be a very quick, easy kill.
Unfortunately for them, Sharon Fang wasn't currently carrying a bounty, but still a good kill. I'd like to see them actually execute something with that, but instead it looks like everyone's going to collapse on Black Oreo Cookie,
who will be taken down and might be able to take down this tower along with it with 2 members. Oh, Kevin76 hitting level 11 in that fight as well, making Kale a very, very strong champion now.
Yeah, absolutely. We're quickly approaching the Kale getting her most power at 16, but level 11 is pretty dangerous as well. That's where you
wave clear.
Yeah, that's where you get all that extra damage.
Oh my god, just disgusting play down there in the bot lane. Ham just taking the tower aggro, and then the synergy coming from Special K to ult Catinator out of the Lamb's respite so that he's able to be killed. So that's going to just quickly be 2 towers handed right over.
Absolutely. I mean, no one on NG Blossom seems to be making a difference here. There's no one that, like, Jeremy Flip is kind of doing okay, but he's still minus 50 CS.
And down 2 levels.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone is down levels on NG Blossom. Nobody is on par with their lane opponent. Black Oreo Cookies is probably the closest.
Despite his 5 deaths?
Yeah, despite 5 deaths, but
like even that, the gold difference is about 2,500. Ham somehow missing the jump over the wall there, which is going to spell Jeremy Flip's very clean escape. But
this does not, like, this just feels like we haven't seen NG Blossom be able to get their footing at all. This is not the normal NG Blossom we see.
And Ham once again picking up another kill with a 3-man dive down there and then up there in the top lane. And even the Senna ultimate just doesn't do enough damage to take down Ham despite landing. Lamb's respite, both invulnerability ultimates being used. Ham getting out of there, a lot of flashes being blown, heal being blown from Catinator will not be enough. Janus is keeping them right away.
So they were able to kill Ham, which did come with a a nice bounty, but we're still talking more than 10k gold difference. We're still talking minus all 3 front towers. We're still talking down 2 dragons.
Sharon Fang and Tanamo. Jeremy Flip blew the teleport to get very good positioning on Sharon Fang and Tanamo, but was unable to capitalize on that at all. And Tanamo kept like sliding right up to pick off XDME yet again, as well as special Oreo cookie, or black Oreo cookie. Whoops. Too many names here.
Yeah, there's at least 10 of them.
There are definitely at least 20 of them because each person as well as their champion.
So we have a dragon up. It looks like, you know, Exasperated is just trying to catch up in the jungle, finally reaching level 9. Keep in mind his opponent Ham is 3 levels above him and currently taking a dragon.
So now we've got 3 dragons before the 20-minute mark, as well as 21 kills and an 11,000 gold lead on the side of Kisses for Cats, and it's just looking like NG Blossom's really gonna take their first L of the season.
Yeah, this looks pretty solidly in favor of Kisses for Cats.
Rift Herald takes out that tower, protection no longer there. Karthus ulti definitely will get another Dark Harvest stack, not quite able to pick off XDME, who's forced to blow ultimate there.
Yeah, also his very recently completed Knight's Vow.
Oh my god, I can't believe that Kindred actually has that much range. The Q auto wall is an absurd amount of range there to hit that.
Yeah, he's currently getting 125 extra attack range from his passive.
Jesus, it's just so much.
Yeah, Ham has quite a few stacks. It looks like he's sitting on 10 stacks right now. And it's time for a Baron.
Oh, already pretty much doing it on spawn.
I mean, no better time to do it.
No tank, no engage, no problem.
And it looks like... Yeah, it looks like maybe they had a slight idea, but Exasperated only being able to just walk by the wall with a sweeper.
By the time it was being picked up anyway, yeah?
Yeah, there was just no chance to contest that. So, after this back, I'm expecting to see that final push on base. I don't know that this is going to go on much longer. XCME is just sitting there, not doing anything, just sitting there.
Not entirely sure what XCME is going for, but is gonna Hex Flash over the wall, but in a half decent position, able to land the Headbutt Pulverize combo, but a lot of damage being soaked up by the intervention there. Or the Divine Judgment now it's called. But they just turn around and kill Exasperated as soon as they're able to get away. Lamb's Respite brought out, and Special Case not in a spot to really ult them out of it, but we'll keep them all safe, and that's going to be a 4-0 on the side of Kisses for Cats. They very well might end the game off that with the second
they
wave.
Absolutely can. I don't think Catinator is going to be able to get out of this.
And Special K is like, what tower? I don't care about the tower. And they just drop her down. Drop down Catinator for the 5th and final kill of that for the ace. I don't think they go for the double here. They might swerve up the top lane, seeing as how that lane's pushing in, or they might just back here. It looks like they're just going to back.
With Exasperated up now, that seems like the safest play. They'll be able to come in. They still have some time on this Baron power play, so I think they're going to be able to back out. They have the inhibitor. They have minions pushing both lanes. You know, just go ahead and set up for the actual kill.
And that is a level 13 KO with 2 completed items, having finished the Nashor Suits and the Hextech Gunblades. You cannot ignore that champion in fights.
Oh, absolutely not. We're still about a minute 23 out from this next and probably final dragon, so I think the only thing to be doing is just pushing these towers.
Using that bonus range. Divine Judgment coming in, but not quite enough damage to take down Ham, just through the Divine Judgment. and once again, 3 more handed over to Kisses for Cats.
Just really almost a 20k difference. This is almost like we have casters v captains going on right now.
Almost, but Ham with no ultimate is finally gonna take a second death this game.
That was a little bit, but probably not enough.
Nah, not nearly enough, as they're breaking the base gates. Exasperated for some reason, ulting into 3 people without the rest of his team. Jeremy Flip ulting in and not able to catch Special K with the Tempest there, and it's just running through their entire team. It's just like their frontline just does not exist. They have frontline champions, but it's just they melt so quickly with the amount of damage that's just been going down. Flash is being burned, and it's just that is the end of the game. They're just gonna walk in with no Nexus towers, no nothing, blowing all of the summoner spells in BM, and just
yeah, this is actually a little yeah. So you actually look at these items that that NG Blossom had, and they're just not that tanky. It was like a Cinder Hulk and a Giant's Belt for Exasperated, plus like some Ninja Tabby. Jeremy Flip had completed a Black Cleaver, had a Tiamat. That's about it.
Jeremy Flip kind of looked like me yesterday during the Casters game.
Exasperated really kind of in my situation, just starved out and behind the entire game. It is easily the worst performance we've seen from NG Blossom, but definitely worth pointing out that they never got a chance to get their footing. They were 100% dominated by pure aggression from the moment the minions started clashing.
And that's like, it's funny you mention that, because the reasons that NG Blossom has been doing so well in this split is strictly from how aggressive they're able to play in the early game. And it's just like they just got out aggressed. It's the first time we've ever seen them get out aggressed in the early game.
I feel like they probably did not get champions that they should have been playing on. I've not seen them bring out this particular lineup very often. You don't often see XDME on an Alistair. I'm used to seeing XDME on the Karma. I really thought that would have been XDME's Karma, and that would have been exciting with like a Syndra or an Azir or something like that on Black Oreo cookies. Instead, we saw just not their normal setup.
It's definitely something different. It's not something. It's definitely the worst that we've ever seen them play, as seeing as how it's their first loss. But it's just just so crazy, like how you see the Titans of the league, and you see them go undefeated for so long, and then out of the blue, not even out of the blue, it's the team that the league expected to beat them was actually happened to be the team that would beat them.
I mean, it's definitely the team that's been on the upswing for the past several weeks. So I can't say that I'm shocked that Kisses for Cats did this. They've definitely been showing a lot of power. It's just shocking to see how quickly NG Blossom fell apart in that game.
Mm-hmm. And we do have some